It is not a rally, it is a private thing, and is constituting as a political rally. It was not. And misconstrue what is going on.
It was not.
Hopefully there are chicken wings there too.
Exactly what it was.
Mr. Mayor, only thing I'll say is and each person has to make their own decision when there's an elected official. Tom Russ once told me that sometimes you need to have a fishing pole in the trunk of your car. And when you're asked to go someplace, you have another appointment and can't be there. That's fine. And I have disregarded it sometimes and been sorry I have. But we do all of our actions. I don't care if it's how you dress. I don't care, our actions as councilmen do reflect on the town of Herndon. Vice Mayor Hutchison, Councilman Kirby and I did not attend either one of those events. And that was our own personal decision. The others made another decision. But we're not the one, I guess, that really can judge. And this infamous day in May will do that, I guess. But I've always taken the position that my actions in the town, whether it's official town business or not, reflect on this office and this organization. And that's my own personal opinion.
I think they do reflect too. I haven't seen anything on anybody, all the members of the dais that I think reflects poorly on the town recently. I think we ought to get to the people's business as soon as we can. Councilman Husch.
With all due respect to the council members' comments, I've spent, I'm in my 16th year here. That's a long time. That's about 40 meetings a year for 16 years. That is endless hours of constituent services. I certainly think I've made a commitment to the town for the grand sum of $4,000 a year. And while I work for the citizens of this community, you don't own me. 13th Amendment made that clear. What I do in my private life, what I do with my family, what I do in the confines of my home is my business, just like what you do is your business. And I won't question that. We certainly don't want to get into a discussion about, gee, are my values better than yours, or your values better than mine? We don't do that. And in this venue, we certainly don't want to get into the discussion of politics. I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat, I'm a conservative, I'm a liberal. I support this person for office, I support this person. It's not what we do here. Unfortunately, over the last 3 years, that's exactly what's occurred. People have forgotten about the town's business. They've forgotten about doing what's best for the community. It's been about politics. 3 years ago, there was a very divisive election. There were some decisions made by the previous town council that were rejected by the community, resoundingly rejected. Some people couldn't get over that. Some people couldn't just move on and say, okay, that's kind of, I don't like what occurred there, but that's a thing decided. Now we got to worry about moving the town forward, doing good things for the community. But that's not what's occurred. Every public hearing, without exception, for the last 3 years has been an attack on this council and the decisions they've made. Good decisions, bad decisions, didn't matter. Every decision was attacked, was questioned, was second-guessed. When it came time to do budgets and people were looking for, these people up here were looking for ideas, what can we do to to deal with budget shortfalls, what good ideas do we have from the community, do we have from the people in this audience? We got zero. We didn't get a contributory process. What we got was a constant harangue, and that's continued, and it's really unfortunate. This is supposed to be about moving the town of Herndon forward. This is about forgetting politics, forgetting whether you support illegal immigration or not, and what's the best thing to do for Herndon? What's the best thing to do on whatever the subject on the agenda is? What helps Herndon the most? We don't get those kind of conversations. What we get is people complaining about what other people do in their private lives. What we get is we get Christmas cards with notes in them that are upsetting to the family. What we get is anonymous letters that are upsetting to the family. What we get is anonymous letters with threats in them that are worthy of a police report. We don't get things that move Herndon forward. We get petty politics. We get people that are still smarting over a decision that was made 3 years ago. It's time to move on.
Okay, speaking of moving on.
It's time to move on. It's time to move Herndon forward. This is just silly.
We'll move on to the public hearing portion of our agenda. Our first public hearing is ordinance 09034 to allow up to 2 members of the Heritage Preservation